I'm prepping a few things in the studio, and today I want to show you how to mount a nice piece of archival paper on a canvas, or in my case, a wood panel. This is a 100% cotton Somerset paper, and I'm mounting it on this wood panel. The first step is to wet this paper for a couple minutes so that it will lay completely flat on the canvas. I do it in a bathtub just because my piece of paper is very large. In order to glue my paper, I am using a neutral pH adhesive. This ensures that over time the glue won't eat at the paper and that your artwork will stay nice and protected without any alteration to colors. I apply a generous amount of glue with my fingers, and I have to work really fast so that the glue doesn't start to dry. And I make sure I put a lot of glue, knowing that it's gonna drip down the sides, but that's okay, I can wipe it after. One thing to be sure of is to have your piece of paper be larger than the canvas so that you trim the excess after. You don't want to risk having a sliver of canvas showing. This is where I mount the paper on canvas. For that, I use a roller. I make sure to apply gentle pressure at first to lay down the paper a little bit everywhere, evenly. Then I make sure I roll on every surface, edges and all, to prevent air bubbles and to have an evenly distributed glue layer underneath. I try to cover it in plastic to protect the paper from dust and put an evenly distributed weight on it for a while to make sure that it's properly gluing down. At some point I remove the plastic and let it air dry. Only when it's fully dry will I trim the edges and my canvas will be ready for me to use. This one is completely dry. I'm gonna try it right now with oil pastels. I wanna draw a landscape, but I wanna keep it expressive but minimal. So I'm gonna use only maybe 3 or 4 colors. Very often when I watch TV, I like to take my sketchbook and draw little landscapes, abstract and expressive landscapes like this. I created these to outline my thumbnails faster, and it's a lot of fun to do. When I create expressive oil pastel landscapes like this, I like to limit my palette to just a few colors. I feel it has more impact this way. This has only 2 colors plus some black, and I think it's one of the strongest in the bunch. I like something like this as well, but there's something about minimalism that is interesting to me. Black and white are a staple for sure. They add drama and contrast. They make the biggest impact, I find, on any drawing. And I love blending oil pastels with white. Sometimes I like to use Gamsol to dilute the paint and blend that way. I ended up using more colors that I selected originally, but I really like the expressive energy of the piece. If you want more inspiration, you can watch this one next.